Hello and welcome to the Intel Teach Essential course of 2015, and today I'll be giving the presentation about my unit plan as the midterm assignment for the course. First, let me introduce myself. My name is Quang and I'm from the class of Interpretation and Translation from K39. And we'll go through the outline of the presentation here. The book we use for the assignment is the FCE Gold Plus, and we'll work on the Unit 10, the Use Your Brain. First, we'll talk about the unit portfolio. Next, we'll talk about the unit overview. And the third one, the assessment plan. The fourth one, I'll go through some instruction procedures. And the last one is some of the examples of the assessment types that I use in my unit plan. And so we'll go through first the unit portfolio. You can see we have the 5 folder of the assessment, the student sample, student support, the teacher support, and the unit plan. For each one, first we have the assessment folder. We have some types of collaboration assessment and the rubric presentation rubric. Since I ask my students to work on the presentation for the final product of the unit. Next, we have the student sample. We have the sample presentation here that I made for my students to use them as an example for their final products. Next, we have the student support folder with the books that I provide for my students. The printed books is the FCE Gold Plus, the course book, and there are 3 additional books that students might look up there for more information related to the units, which may help them in the final presentation, or they provide them with some task for enhancing their brain power. Okay. The next is the teacher support folder. Here I only use the FCE Gold Plus, the teacher's book version, to help me come up with some activities in the classroom. And the last one is the unit plan, and we'll go through this most important document of the portfolio folder. So first we'll look at the unit plan plan summary. The topic of the unit is about using your brain. So through this unit, students should understand more about the amazing abilities of the brain and how to enhance and boost its power. The unit provides the information related to the topic through reading articles, listening exercises, and group discussions. And students will also learn some new vocabularies and some grammatical points that can help them express their ideas. Lastly, we'll have the test preparation part, which will focus on the speaking task, the collaboration part between students, and also the writing task in writing an article. Now we have the curriculum framing questions. So the essential questions of the unit is how to improve your brain power. And the unit question, as you can see here, will give the guide students in order to look for more information and answer the essential questions. And the content questions will be answered during the class time. Next, we will look at the assessment timeline as well as the assessment summary. So the assessment plan here we got here. First is some questioning and brainstorming in order to provoke students' attention, as well as help them to think, to be creative about the subject. And next is the goal setting, where these goal settings will help the students to have a clearer view of what they have to do and what they will gain throughout the unit. Because At the end of the unit, we have a task that requires the students to collaborate with each other. So I will use some collaboration assessment here to help the students self-evaluate as well as helping their peers to improve their skills. Because I use the presentation as the final product for this unit, so I will give out a presentation rubric in order to help students based on that to work on their project. And finally, the reflective journals will help me as well as the students to keep track of the process in the classroom, and as well as take notes of the information that they have learned in order to help them come up with the answer for the essential questions at the end of the unit. And now we have a look at my procedures. So from week 1, week 2, we will work in class and have activities based on the coursebook in order to give the students the information, the knowledge that the basic knowledge that they need through reading articles, through listening tests, and grammatical and some vocabulary exercises. So until week 3, I will give out the unit questions and the topic for the final project, which is a presentation for our students, as well as provide them with the presentation rubric as a guidance and state the criteria needed in the students' work, as well as answering some of their questions. So until week 6, we will practice to prepare for the test about the speaking task and the writing task. And on the last day of the unit, we will have the presentations of the students, and I will give them my evaluation and feedback. Finally, the wrapping up is where the students work on their journals in order to gather all the information, the knowledge that they have gained throughout the units, as well as coming up with the essential questions and submit it to me in order to receive my feedbacks. So here we look through some of the examples that I use in my assessment types. Some types of assessment that I use. Here is the presentation rubric, where there are 3 main focus on the organization of the speech, the content, and finally the presentation skills. And the next assessment types is the peer assessment collaboration rubric. This is one of the 3 types of collaboration assessment that I use, and this will help the students to evaluate their friends and to give comments, and also help their friends improve their collaboration skills. So that is the end of my presentation. Thank you very much for your attention.